So welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about common character archetypes in sweet romance that can really help you to make readers feel at home with your story. So an archetype is basically a typical example of a thing or a person. There are many different character archetypes in the writing world, but I find that there are several that work really well for a hero and a heroine and feel comfortable to sweet romance readers. So the first type is the stubborn through and through. These are two characters who are stubborn and often have motivations to be that way because of their past histories. This is Sir Darcy and Elizabeth Bennet of Pride and Prejudice. Or from the outlining examples we'll have coming up, it's Margaret Tate and her assistant Andrew Paxton from The Proposal. They fall in love slowly. They learn to love each other over time by becoming what the other needs and their true self. Definitely a challenging archetype, but one that can be very powerful. Up next, we have the brooding or aloof character, and this can be pretty dramatic. So it has to be done with the character's past in mind. Usually, this type of character is the hero, and we need to know pretty quickly what has made them this way, so standoffish, and why they push people away to justify their behaviors. This is often used in the billionaire trope. He's only there for the money, not to fall for the beautiful contractor or the woman he hired to plan his daughter's wedding. He has to open up over the course of the story. It's used less for the heroines of sweet romance, but there's nothing saying that you can't mix it up. And up next, we have Sweet to Their Core. And this is one of my personal favorites because sweet romance lends to having sweet characters. This character has an innocence that often gets them into trouble, and it can even lend well to a rom-com situation. Think of Phoebe on Friends, the TV show. She doesn't have a mean bone in her body, but that makes her often misunderstood. She stands out in a different way and doesn't express herself in a way that other characters can understand. She's selfless and empathetic and to others' needs. Flip this archetype and you have a hero who is a nurse or a doctor or a caregiver. It's often best if the sweet to the core character is the one to pursue the other character, so we see how they blossom while taking on the challenges of growth. Up next, we have the out of their league category, which means that this is the unattainable out of their league character, someone that is different than their normal romantic interest. This could be the city girl and the country boy situation, or the rock star and the barista. It's one character who has a totally different reality than the other, bringing the other character into their world. A country boy teaching the city girl how to ride a horse. The rock star hiding his fame to live out a simple life without the paparazzi. This is often coupled with the secret trope, because the character who is more famous is in hiding or doesn't want to be known. The reveal can be very powerful in its vulnerability for the character to admit they were holding back. It makes for a great dark moment, which we will discuss in the plotting. So up next we have friend to lover. One character doesn't want to ruin what they have as friends. They know each other, and this can lend to an immediate chemistry. But the characters don't see it as anything but friendship. They already know each other, and this can be both good and bad. Through challenges to their beliefs of the other person, you can develop a closeness that is true love. This one is often used for the trope of fake fiance or fake relationship. The two already have a closeness, but we develop their attraction and connection through the story. Okay, so those are the 6 commonly found character types in sweet romances. There are others, to be sure, but sticking to the tried and true can often help readers to feel like the story is enveloping them in their favorite blanket. You want them to feel at home with your story. After all, you're baking them their favorite cookie or cupcake right now. And when it comes to creating characters, take a look at the My Character in 20 Quick Questions sheet I've created that's in the workbook. It includes things like basics of name, age, gender, job, but also includes accomplishments and setbacks in life as backstory, mannerisms, personal habits, and their fatal flaw. So the fatal flaw is something the character is afraid of, or a trait that might lead to their downfall or even possibly death. It makes a character relatable and realistic. It creates sympathy and empathy for the character because we can put ourselves in their shoes as readers. Using the proposal as an example, Margaret Tate's character, which is Sandra Bullock, her fatal flaw is that she can't swim. So in the course of the story, we see her wearing a life jacket in the boat to get to Andrew's parents' home, which is on an island, and being cautious around the water. And eventually, spoiler alert, she falls into the ocean when Andrew turns the boat sharply as they head back to his family's home. She has to trust him to get her out of the water, to save her. This moment is very powerful as it shows her weakness, but it also indicates his strength to comfort and to calm and to be there for her. He's her rock, which is found in sweet romance often. And I'm not saying that the hero and heroine are incapable of living their own life. I'm saying they often have an Achilles heel that no one would imagine. What would make your character fearful? What is the one thing that would make them vulnerable? That's their fatal flaw. Be sure to fill out that character sheet for both your lead main characters, hero and heroine, and any characters who will contribute setting to the story, and we'll talk about that next. Setting.